Hey YouTube, February 27th is International Polar Bear Awareness Day, and I was going to give you a top 10 things you may or may not know about polar bears countdown, but I'm feeling a little under the weather right now. I have a little bit of a cold, so I brought in a guest speaker, and hopefully he'll take it from there. Okay, I guess I'll just do the voiceover. Roll the credits. In honor of Polar Bear Appreciation Day, 10 things you may or may not know about polar bears. Number 10. They're big. Depending on how you determine size, the polar bear is the largest or the second largest land predator, pretty much tied with the Kodiak bear, aka the Alaskan Grizzly. Females can weigh around 330 to 550 pounds and reach heights of above 8 feet. Males are around 3 times bigger, weighing 750 to 14,000 pounds and reaching heights of over 10 feet tall. The largest polar bear ever recorded weighed a grand total of 2,209 pounds and was just over 11 feet tall. Number 9. Here, polar bear, polar bear, polar bear. For some reason, polar bears are given swine-like names. A male polar bear is called a boar, and a female polar bear is called a sow. Young bears, however, are not called piglets. They're called cubs. Number 8. Shh. Technically speaking, polar bears do not hibernate. Similar to lions, polar bears will conserve energy by not doing much during low hunting seasons, but males and not pregnant females are active all year round. Pregnant females will den for up to 6 months, during which the mothers live off their fat stores. While the females may enter a sleep-like state and their pulse decreases, their body temperature and other metabolic reactions do not cease as in a true hibernation. Number 7. You are both the father. Female polar bears mate with many males during the mating season, and it is not uncommon for cubs born of the same litter to have different biological fathers. Number 6. Polar bears aren't really white. It's true. Polar bears appear to have an off shade of white fur, but in reality the hairs themselves are transparent and hollow. The hollow nature of the fur allows the hairs to scatter light in the same way that snow does, so it appears white to the eye. The hairs do yellow with age, so older bears do appear a little more yellow than younger bears. Also, in captivity, some bears may have a greenish hue to the fur. This is due to algal growth in the bear's fur. Number 5. Pizzly sounds kinda naughty. Polar bears and grizzly bears share a common ancestor anywhere from 100,000 to 600,000 years ago. Why the big range? Well, scientists have been getting conflicting genetic data to pin down the exact timing. But regardless, grizzlies and polar bears share enough genetic material that they can successfully mate and produce fertile offspring. There have been 2 reported cases of wild hybrids being shot in 2006 and in 2010. Some scientists suggest that climate change is causing these 2 species' habitats to overlap more than they ever did before. Number 4. Begging. Polar bears are by nature solitary, but they are not as territorial as other bears, and many other solitary predators. Polar bears who scavenge or score large kills have been known to share their meal with other hungry polar bears, provided that the newcomer shows proper humility and begs to be allowed to eat. Polar bears have been observed to play with other polar bears in the wild, and have even been known to beg and play with dogs in hopes that the dogs will share their food. Number 3. Toxic liver. Polar bears have adapted to a diet extremely high in fat. In fact, if a brown bear ate the same diet as a polar bear, it would suffer debilitating heart disease in short order. Because it has a diet high in predators who eat fish, toxic amounts of vitamin A are stored in the polar bear's liver. Inuit who hunt polar bears use every part of the bear except for the liver, which can cause fatal poisoning if eaten. The Inuit go as far to bury or throw away the liver out to sea so sled dogs will not accidentally overdose on the vitamin. Number 2. Swimming. Polar bears are extremely adapted for swimming in Arctic waters. Their paws are webbed, their body is streamlined, and they contain a protective layer of insulating fat. In fact, in a recent survey of 52 female polar bears in the southern Beaufort Sea off Alaska, over a third of the sows swam a distance of 30 miles or more at one time or another. Of those travels of more than 30 miles, the average distance was 96 miles, and the farthest distance swam was almost 220 miles over the course of 10 days. 10 of the sows had 11 cubs with them before the study. After the study, 6 cubs remained, suggesting most of the cubs were able to travel the same distances. As for the missing 5 cubs, scientists are not sure if they died before, during, or after the long-distance swimming sessions. Scientists think these long-distance swims are mostly due to the polar bears having to travel long distances in order to find suitable ice floes for hunting, due to the receding polar ice caused by climate change, but they're not 100% certain. Number 1. Polar bears are not endangered. Yet. Polar bears were only recently reclassified as a vulnerable species in 2006. Their population has been hard to exactly monitor and census in many areas, but techniques for population estimates have improved. Of the areas recent scientists have had data on for the past 25 years, 4 of 7 had had stable populations for 25 years, 3 had reduced populations that have begun to stabilize of late, and 1 has had a severely declining population. 3 areas have had only valid data over the past 12 or so years. Of those 3, 1 is stable, and the other 2 are decreasing. Current estimates peg the population of polar bears to be at between 20 and 25,000. Due to climate change drastically reducing the amount of ice in the North Pole, populations may quickly go from vulnerable to endangered. Best estimates predict a greater than 30% reduction in the population of polar bears by 2050.
Thanks for watching Science Scenes. It takes a lot of time and energy to make these videos. I hope to produce more content soon. If you could, subscribe or click like or leave me some positive feedback or constructive criticism in the comments. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.